Hi guys, this is Keith Garrick, the VR Trooper here, coming to you. And today I want to address an issue that I've kind of run into through my own experiences with VR, and that is something I call VR phobia. Now, VR phobia is when you run into people who are smiling and watching you use the VR, but they're actually afraid to try themselves for some odd reason. And I think there are some logical reasons behind that, and I just kind of want to touch on those real quickly because you're going to run into VR phobias. Until they experience it for themselves, they just won't really understand how cool VR is. So, one of the main concerns I think is people feel like they look silly, with the headset on, wearing that thing around. I've run into that a few times at work. I take my VR headset for my cell phone in with me to work, and on my breaks, I shut myself off from the work environment altogether and enjoy myself on my breaks with my VR headset, doing some gaming, usually some video games. And, I can hear people laugh and talk in the background. But what's really funny is when I take the headset off and they're doing that, and I say, hey, you got to check this out, give this a try. 9 times out of 10, they're all like pretty impressed. They're like, oh, that's cool. I can't believe that. And, then there's the few people who just, for whatever reason, refuse to give it a try. And I think there's some things behind that. So looking silly, I think, is one of the things people worry about. And let me just tell you this much. When you're watching a VR film or playing a VR app with that headset on, you don't care. You don't care what you look like. It's the experience. And after all, isn't that what life is really all about, is experiences? So, you just have to take those things with a grain of salt. My other thought was, quite possibly some of these people could be, closet claustrophobic, and they're afraid of confined spaces, and they're afraid that if they put this on, it'll make them freak out. Well, valid point there. I hadn't really thought about that before, but I suppose if you're afraid of confined spaces or feeling confined, a VR headset will do that. The other reason might be is a lot of people are skeptical. They're like, VR can't possibly be cool. You're strapping a Viewmaster to your eyes and wearing this thing around, and, how cool can that be? Why don't you just get a 60-inch flat screen and play your video games on the flat screen? Well, guys, I'm here to tell you that experience is not the same. It's not nearly as immersive as when you strap that headset on and play your favorite game or watch a really cool video. And I think another reason is, and probably the biggest reason, is people are afraid that they are going to get addicted. They are afraid that they are going to like VR so much that they're going to get addicted to it and waste tons and tons of time doing it. Well, a lot of these people are the same people who play Candy Crush or online games like crazy, and so in actuality, they wouldn't really be any more addicted than they already are. They're just going to be addicted to something else. And quite frankly, I'm addicted to VR. I love it. I use my VR headset all the time and have wonderful online experiences with it. And it's amazing. And people don't look at it, I think, in the right perspective, which is, I can't afford to go to the Grand Canyon. I can't afford to take my family to the Grand Canyon and have that experience this weekend on a whim. With my VR headset and the right YouTube video, yeah, I can. And I can enjoy it more immersively and more fully sometimes than if I was actually there, because there are no lines to wait in. You bypass all the crappy stuff and see mostly just the good stuff, the cool stuff. And you put your headset on and your earbuds in, and you're immersed in that experience. So I think in a lot of ways, virtual reality is good in the sense that you can afford to take mini vacations and have experiences that you could never, ever possibly afford to have. And, it's not the same as watching it on a large flat screen TV. It's just not. So, yeah, I think you have to kind of look at it from that point of view. Well, this is me, Keith Garrick, VR Trooper, signing off. Until next time. Happy VRing.